All right, welcome to another deep dive. You guys wanted to know more about Elon Musk, and, well, his Wikipedia entry is kind of amazing. It's got everything from his childhood all the way to, like, plans for Mars. So, are you ready to get into this?
Oh, absolutely. Musk's story, it's it's almost a guidebook for ambitious entrepreneurs, but with some really unique twists along the way.
Yeah, and right from the beginning, his childhood, it's striking. I mean, born in South Africa, parents divorced, there are even stories of bullying. But then at 12 years old, boom, he sells his first computer game, Blaster.
You see that drive in him early on, not just to kind of understand technology, but to actually like create something, build something valuable, even as a kid.
Okay, but then you get this detail that's almost too strange to be true. Teenage Musk walking around New York City with emeralds in his pockets. What's the story there?
Well, it shows the kind of complicated background he comes from. There are these accounts of his family's wealth tied to like emerald mines in Zambia. It's not totally clear cut, but it adds this layer of intrigue to his story for sure.
Emeralds, and then, cleaning out a lumber mill boiler room after he immigrates to Canada. Like, what do these early contrasts tell us?
To me, it suggests that privilege doesn't always equal a smooth path. He had this hustle, this drive to work odd jobs even before going to Queen's University. It's almost like those challenges early on, they fueled his ambition.
And that ambition, it takes off when he drops out of Stanford after just 2 days to co-found Zip2. It's 1995, and he's building online business directories years before Google Maps.
Yeah, talk about being ahead of the curve. It's that classic Silicon Valley move, betting on a future that most people, they haven't even imagined yet. And it pays off, right? Compaq buys Zip2, and that's Musk's first major win.
But he doesn't stop. He jumps right into X.com, which, as everyone knows, becomes PayPal. But what I find interesting is he's actually pushed out at first because of disagreements, and then later he comes back as CEO to lead the company through the sale to eBay.
That shows you something crucial about Musk. He's not just a visionary, but he's a fighter. He's willing to push back, even reclaim control when he believes in something strongly enough. And that tenacity, you'll see it even more in his later ventures.
Right, so let's talk about those. SpaceX. Now, this isn't just starting a company. This is about colonizing Mars. When SpaceX launched in 2002, was everyone thinking, this guy's lost it?
Private space travel. Back then, it was unheard of. But with Musk, you have to understand, failure doesn't deter him. SpaceX had 3 failed Falcon 1 launches. They almost went bankrupt.
That kind of pressure would crush most people. But then, that fourth launch in 2008, they reach orbit.
It changed the entire space industry. Suddenly, private companies were serious contenders. And SpaceX, they just kept innovating. The Dragon spacecraft docking at the International Space Station, another historic first.
And then there's Starlink, this plan to blanket the Earth in internet-providing satellites. I mean, thousands are already up there, but it hasn't been without issues, right?
The astronomical community, they've raised concerns about light pollution, the risk of collisions, and then there's the whole situation with Starlink and the Russia-Ukraine war. It shows how technology, even with the best intentions, can get tangled up in global conflict.
And then you have this, well, Musk's idea to nuke Mars, to terraform it. What is going on there?
That's classic Musk. His thinking, it goes way beyond conventional wisdom. Sometimes it's almost science fiction. A lot of scientists, they're skeptical about, nuking a planet, the feasibility, the safety. But for Musk, it's about solving problems in the boldest way possible. It sparks a debate, right? Visionary thinking or recklessness?
All right, so you've got this guy pushing the boundaries in space travel, and then he decides to focus on something a bit more down to earth. Electric cars. And that's where Tesla comes in. So what was the electric car scene like when Musk joins Tesla in 2004?
Oh, electric cars they were seen as clunky, slow, and honestly, not very cool. Musk's brilliance was seeing that to change the world, you have to change what people desire. He made electric cars not just environmentally friendly, but desirable.
The Tesla Model S, that was a game changer, no doubt. But it wasn't always smooth sailing. What about that SEC lawsuit? And Musk having to step down as chairman because of those tweets about taking Tesla private.
Ah, yes, the funding secured tweet. It perfectly shows how Musk's impulsive side and that love for Twitter can really backfire. Just to quickly recap for our listener, he tweeted that he had funding to take Tesla private, which, well, wasn't entirely true, leading to the lawsuit, forced resignation as chairman.
It shows that even with brilliant ideas, ambition, there are consequences for not playing by the rules. Tesla's stock price, it was almost as unpredictable as one of his tweets.
That's one way to put it. But despite all the drama, Tesla's impact is undeniable. Under Musk's leadership, they've driven the electric car revolution, pushing the whole industry towards a greener future.
So we've got space travel, revolutionizing the car industry, and next, we're getting into Musk's other ventures. Neuralink, the boring company. This is going to get even more interesting. Okay, so we've explored space travel, revolutionized cars. What's next?
Now we're getting into brain chips and tunnels.
Sounds about right for Elon Musk. So let's start with Neuralink. This one seems straight out of, I don't know, a sci-fi movie.
The idea is, well, to create a brain-computer interface. Basically, your brain could communicate directly with devices. Imagine like a smartphone, but inside your head.
Whoa. So not just thinking about moving a mouse on a screen, but like actually treating things like Parkinson's or Alzheimer's.
Yeah, exactly. The initial focus is medical, helping people regain functions, manage conditions. But Musk, he's thinking bigger, enhancing human capabilities, maybe even like merging with AI.
They've already got monkeys playing video games with Neuralink implants. I saw the videos. It's crazy. But hasn't there been pushback, like ethical concerns with all this?
Oh, absolutely. There have been allegations about the welfare of the animals in these experiments. It raises some serious questions about, how fast we're going versus ethical considerations.
Definitely a lot to unpack there. Makes you think about like the future of humanity, technology, all of that. But let's move on to another one of Musk's ventures, the Boring Company. So tunnels, traffic, Teslas. How does this all connect?
Well, the Boring Company, it comes from Musk's, I guess you could say, frustration with traffic. His solution, go underground.
Makes sense, I guess. So a network of tunnels, cars zipping around below the gridlock. Is that the vision?
Exactly. High-speed transportation, bypassing all the mess above.
And haven't there been some setbacks? Those big Hyperloop plans, Chicago, LA, they haven't really happened.
True, some projects haven't worked out. But with Musk, you got to remember, he operates on a different timescale. There's already a tunnel system under the Las Vegas Convention Center, and they're planning to expand it. For him, it's like a failure is just, a step on the way to something bigger.
Yeah, he seems to thrive on those challenges, pushing the boundaries of what's possible. But let's be real, he also loves stirring things up online. We can't talk about Musk without talking about Twitter. Or, well, I guess it's X now. So why did he buy it? What was his goal?
Musk said it was about free speech. He felt the platform was too restrictive, wanted to create a space where, everyone could be heard.
That sounds nice, I guess. But things haven't exactly been smooth sailing since he took over. Bringing back those controversial figures, staff layoffs, technical issues, constant changes. What does all that say about Musk's, leadership style?
It highlights both his strengths and weaknesses, right? He's a disruptor. He's not afraid to shake things up, even if it means, some things break along the way. But that boldness can also lead to chaos, unintended consequences. The whole X thing, it's still unfolding, but it's a fascinating case study.
Yeah, and free speech, social media, the power of one person to change the digital landscape. It's a lot. Okay, so space travel, cars, brain chips, tunnels, and now taking over social media. Is there anything this guy doesn't do? I mean, he even makes music, right?
Yeah. His music ventures were interesting, to say the least. He released that rap song about Harambe the gorilla, and then there was that EDM track. I guess it shows that Musk has a playful side, too. He likes to experiment, express himself creatively, even if, the results aren't always hits.
I guess everyone needs a creative outlet, even a genius billionaire. But let's face it, we can't talk about Elon Musk without getting into his personal life. And it's been, let's just say, eventful. Multiple marriages, that very public relationship with Grimes. And he has, at least 12 kids?
Yeah, that's a lot to keep track of. His personal life, it definitely grabs attention. The whole thing with Grimes, the unique names they chose for their kids, now the custody battles, it's all over the news. I guess it reminds us that even with all the achievements, relationships can be messy, complicated.
And his politics? They've been a source of debate. He's gone from supporting Democrats to endorsing Republicans, and his views on, population decline, AI, they've definitely sparked reactions. What do you make of his, political evolution?
It's been anything but predictable. He calls himself a moderate, but some people see his endorsements as statements as aligning more and more with the right. His comments about population collapse, AI, they're thought-provoking, but some say they feed into, alarmist narratives.
And then you've got the whole situation with Grimes' mother accusing Musk of withholding their grandchildren's passports. The drama never seems to end.
It goes to show that even with Musk's money and influence, he still deals with family issues, personal challenges, just like everyone else.
Okay, let's take a step back. We've covered a lot. From visionary ideas to controversies. How would you sum up Musk's public image?
Polarizing. Definitely.
Yeah.
Some see him as a real-life Tony Stark.
Yeah.
I know, a genius, an innovator pushing humanity forward. Others see him as reckless, irresponsible, maybe even dangerous.
He's been called a visionary, a disruptor, a genius, a jerk. What do you think drives him? Is it all about innovation, or is there something more?
It's a mix of ambition, ego, and a genuine desire to, I think, solve those big problems. He challenges conventions, takes risks, pushes boundaries. But that can also lead to arrogance, impulsiveness, disregard for the consequences.
Like that whole space Karen thing, right? Downplaying COVID. And then the accusations of labor violations at Tesla, the lawsuit for libel. It's a lot to reconcile.
There's a dark side to Musk, no doubt. He's been accused of bullying, exploiting workers, using his wealth and power to silence critics. Brilliance and innovation, they don't excuse bad behavior.
It's a lot to take in. His Wikipedia entry really is wild. But beyond the facts, the dates, what strikes me is how strongly people react to him. You either love him or hate him.
That's because he reflects our times, you know. He's a symbol of both the incredible potential and the potential dangers of technology, wealth, unchecked ambition.
So what can we learn from all this? From the good and the bad?
I think it's about seeing the power of vision, determination, but also the importance of ethics, empathy, accountability. Musk's story, it's a cautionary tale. Progress without compassion can have consequences, sometimes unintended, sometimes devastating.
It's a lot to think about, and to be honest, I'm not sure what my own take is yet. But that's what I love about these deep dives. They make you confront these complicated issues, form your own opinion.
Exactly. There's no easy answer when it comes to Elon Musk. That's what makes him so fascinating. He forces us to think about the big questions: the future of humanity, technology's role, the limits of ambition.
Well, we've covered his ventures, his controversies, his personality. I think we've given our listener a pretty good overview of Elon Musk, don't you think?
Absolutely. His impact on everything from space travel to social media, the complexities of his character, his motivations, we've touched on it all.
But in the end, it's up to each of us to decide where we stand on Elon Musk. So
Right.
that was a lot. I mean, we really went deep on Elon Musk, didn't we? From his early days all the way to where we are now.
It's remarkable, right? Just how much one person, starting from this one Wikipedia entry, how much they can achieve, but also how, even those achievements, they come with these ethical questions, these consequences that are hard to predict.
At the beginning, you wanted to understand these really influential figures. And I think it's safe to say Musk fits that description, right? He's in the news constantly. And understanding him, his goals, what he's done right and wrong, it helps us understand the world we live in, I think.
That's a good point. Think about that goal he has, making humanity multiplanetary, going to Mars. It's bold. It pushes the limits of what we even consider possible. But, it also raises questions like, are we focusing on Mars when we have all these problems here on Earth? Is it ignoring the challenges that, most of humanity faces, those who might never get the chance to leave this planet?
It's interesting how he can inspire both, awe and worry at the same time. He's pushing technology, tackling climate change, driving innovation. But then there's also how he manages, treats workers, his impact on social media.
It reminds us that progress, it's not always a straight line. Innovation can have a cost. And with Musk, we have to think about those trade-offs, the ethical dilemmas, the things that happen that maybe nobody intended.
We covered so much. His childhood, his companies, the controversies, his personal life, his changing political views. But this is just a snapshot, right? He's still out there. His companies are still working. The story of Elon Musk isn't finished yet.
Absolutely. And that's why this deep dive, it's really just the beginning. It's a starting point for you to explore more, think critically, form your own conclusions.
So to our listener, what do you think? Does Musk inspire you? Make you nervous? Something in between. We want to know.
Keep asking those questions, keep learning, keep engaging with the world around you. The future, it's not just shaped by people like Elon Musk. It's shaped by all of us.
And on that note, thanks for joining us on this deep dive. Until next time.